All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rechak, Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone, rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim who pushing this gospel and truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is Brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone. Can't come back at you, Lord will. The edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It's straight to the point. But as you see right here, I have this brother's video pulled up, which I played it all the way through. I just wanted to bring it back to the beginning, which I'm on this brother's channel, his page right now. The brother, it's the brother Korah Iba, GMS Spiritual Temple 2, and he had reposted this lesson, right? It says on the top, it says Elder Mike in Dallas. Right, so I clicked on it, right? Very, very beautiful and edifying lesson through the spirit, right? So ultimately go and subscribe and be edified through the spirit, man. But, he was, playing this video as well as pulling out some precepts, basically just describing how, America is destroyed right now, how you American people, right, are going to start feeling, more and more pressure based off of the economical and societal collapse of America, like that we're seeing right now, and here soon, Lord will. Right, the complete and utter destruction of America by way of ICBM nuclear missiles, as well as chariots coming and sending down those laser beams, man. This is the time that we're in, But for you people that ultimately continue to think and trust, that America is ultimately going to come back, right? Well, you're mistaken, man. You're ultimately being fooled, man, because America is done. America is destroyed, man. As we see it, So with that, grab a few precepts. This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me." Right? That cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And that's going into that American, American patriot type spirit, man. Instead of you ultimately, coming to this knowledge, right? You want to remain in that Americanized, patriot, type spirit, man, which ultimately, isn't going to help you, man. America is not going to help you, right? That American covering is not going to help you, right? Verse 2, it says that walk to go down into Egypt, right, which we know the modern day Egypt, right, is America, right? Which there's many different, signs and, different structures within America, right, that ultimately give you and identify, right, that America is that, modern day Egypt, man. You could look on the fucking dollar, man, right? It's got that pyramid, right, on the dollar, as well as you got the obelisk, in Washington, D.C., and, so on and so forth, right? Many different structures, right, that have been built up, right, in America, right, that ultimately resemble ancient Egypt, right? Making today modern Egypt, making America today modern Egypt, right? It says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked in my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, right? Majority of the people in the world, right, they really think that America, is a financial, economical, and societal powerhouse, right, in the world, but that's not so anymore, man. America at one point, which we're gonna grab it, right? America at one point was that, right? Matter of fact, let's grab it right now. We'll come back to this. This is Jeremiah chapter 51. In chapter 51, we'll start at verse 7. It says, Babylon hath been, right? So this is past tense, right? Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken in wine, therefore the nations are mad. So at one point, yes, America was, right, that super powerhouse, right, in the earth, right, that was ruling over all these nations, that was, continuing to push its agenda, which the American agenda, right, that transformer agenda is still being pushed in the earth, right? So America still has, some sort of power, still in the earth, right? But you still have a lot of nations that are now denying that type of lifestyle, right? They're ultimately saying, no, we don't want that, right? You got Nigerians and a whole bunch of Hamite, nations, right? The Hamite nations, right, are ultimately, making it illegal, right, for you to be a Mo, man, and putting you in prison, right, if you are a Mo, right, or if you engage in Mo activities, man. You know, so yes, like it says right here, it says, therefore the nations are mad. So at one point, the nations were engaging in that type of lifestyle, and the nations, you know, they were bugged out for that, man. You know, but now the nations are actually physically mad, right? They're pissed off, right? Because they engaged in that, and they're finding out that, you know, that it wasn't the right way to go, man. You know, so these nations are pissed off, man, and this is why, right? You're starting to see a lot more talks against America, right? Based off of, you know, the wickedness and evil that America has pushed in the earth. And not only that, right, scriptures talk about, you know, how America has laden itself with thick clay, which you can read about in Habakkuk, the second chapter, man. You know, is laden himself with thick clay, which we go into that definition. It goes into, you know, debt, right? America has just reached 33 trillion, just over 33 trillion, you know, dollars in debt. You know, when just a few months ago, I think it was 3 or 4 months ago, right, America hit what, 32 trillion dollars in debt, and now they're at 33. You know, so these nations, right, and it's a lot of the big nations, right, such as China, right, they're the number one holder of America's debt. You know, America owes China the most. You know, and they're talking about going to war with America, man. You know, because America ain't paying their debt. All they're doing is, you know, continuing to, you know, raise up the debt ceiling, which America right now is facing another closure, right? Another lockdown, another shutdown of the government, because they're coming up, you know, on their, you know, coming up to their debt ceiling, you know. So they really have one or two options, man, right? One is to heighten the debt ceiling, right? So that way they can continue to print money, which is probably most likely what they'll do, because it'll only continue to, you know, destroy the dollar, which is what they want, right? They want to be able to bring forth that digital currency, right? Which in order to do that, they have to destroy the dollar, right? So they're either going to raise the debt ceiling or they're going to shut down the government, which at that point you're going to see a lot of what, man? A lot of people, you know, being jobless, right? Just as we've seen, you know, with the scam that with the first shutdown, right? But this time it will be on numbers that we haven't seen before, man. You know, so everything is, you know, whatever decision they make is ultimately going to be, you know, leading to the further destruction of America, man. You know, and there's no way that America is going to come back from the said destruction that it's facing, right? Verse 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed, right, man? You know, and in America, you know, there's nothing that you're going to be able to do, no policy or law or, you know, that you're going to be able to do, and that's ultimately going to allow America to bounce back. Just like when Janet Yellen, I think what her name was, the Secretary of where is she, man? Secretary of Treasury, I think is what she was. But she was ultimately saying, hey, the only way that we're going to be able to stay off this shutdown is to do what, right? To you know, cut certain programs, you know, and stop paying on those programs, but continue to pay on, you know, certain major, you know, interests, right, on certain areas, right, which will, you know, ultimately again stay off that shutdown. But it just keeps getting closer and closer and closer every time that they raise the debt ceiling, right? Well, it's not, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter, right? So from, I want to say about 3-4 months ago, right, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, right, they raised the debt ceiling, and now they're having to raise it again, right? And who knows, if they raise it again, it might only be 2 months out this time, man. You know, so the debt ceiling is going to continue to get shorter, or the distance that they're able to push it out is going to continue to get shorter and shorter and shorter, right, until they can't push it out anymore, if they do decide to push it out, you know. But either way, man, it's going to continue to lead to further destruction, right? Continue on verse 9, it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, right? There's nothing that's going to be able to make America come back from this destruction that it's facing, man, right? It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto the heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, right, man? You know, America is is looking at a pending doom, man. You know, pending imminent doom that America and the American people are facing, you know. So let's go back to the Isaiah in chapter 30 and verse 3. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, right? And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. Because again, the average person, right, the average American, right, truly believes that America is going to be able to come back, right? Going back to the Great Depression, right, in the 1900s, you know, going to, what was it, the 2008, you know, recession that America was facing, right? America bounced back. Both of those times, America had bounced back, and there's many other little recessions or depressions that America went through that I'm not mentioning, but you know, again, just dealing with those main two that I mentioned, America bounced back, man. Right, Salakia, man. So America bounced back from those times, man. But this time, America's not going to be able to bounce back. Right, I'll read it again. Isaiah 30 and verse 3, it says, therefore the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. Salakia, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Right, because when America goes down, and you people are your thoughts that America, you know, being so great and so tough and, you know, so resilient, hey, well, that's going to be, you know, that's going to be swatted down, man. You know, it's being put to the test now, man, but it's going to be swatted down completely in the times to come, man. You know, America's over, man. America's over, and it's only going to continue to get harder and harder and worse for you American people, man. You know? But that's all I really got, man. I just wanted to ultimately touch on that, man. My little spiritual 2 cents to the brother's video, man. The elder's video. You know, so with that, Lord wills, edifying, Lord wills, straight to the point, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahshua, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash, that belongs to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone, to the next time I say shalom.